got a very special guest on my channel today. This is Roberto. Do you want to introduce yourself and what you make videos about?
Well, I guess I can do it like I do on the YouTubes.
There we go.
Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of RobertoBlake.com, helping you create something awesome today.
How many times have you said that line, do you think?
I think I've literally said that over 1,000 times.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Roberto has a lot of great videos with advice for design, being an entrepreneur, growing your YouTube channel even. But today we thought we'd talk a bit about branding, because branding is not one of my strong suits. Like logo design is not something that I left university really wanting to do. But you are like a consultant to brands, right?
Yeah, a lot of things. I also do it like the visual branding. One of the things you guys have to understand is that there are multiple facets to branding.
Yes.
There's visual branding, which you actually do very well as a designer. You just don't realize it. And the visual branding goes beyond the logo. It's beyond the logo. It's picking the typeface that communicates with what you're doing. Like, you sometimes work with a lot of feminine brands. So you know
Script
that
fonts and
script
things,
fonts,
yeah.
thin typefaces, the elegance, that's a whole theme. Classical, modern, that's a whole theme that resonates with those audience, for those brands, for those products, for those services. And you also pick colors that have some kind of association. That's a part of visual branding. So think of branding when you're a designer, not as logo design, but think of it as visual communication, storytelling, and setting up your palette, and not just from the perspective of color, but color and font and symbols and imagery and tonality and a message, because the brand is the story.
When you work with these companies on consulting about their brand, what's the biggest struggle that they often have? Like, what's the hardest thing about branding that you have to help people with?
So for startups and small businesses, or for solo entrepreneurs like you or I, a lot of it is people have trouble defining their brand.
Yeah.
Sometimes the conversation of niche goes too far. Because people mistake niche for needing to be one-dimensional. When I talk to them, I say, let's not worry about the word niche. Tell me what it is you want to accomplish. What are your goals? What do you aspire to do? Who do you look to serve? Let me do the who, what, where, when, why, how. I want to have those questions answered, because that's what's going to define your brand. Your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Defining your brand is about what stories do you want people to tell about you, so you put them in a position to have those things to say about you, and you do that through the way that you talk about yourself, the way that you present, the people that you work with and hang around and associate with, the people you collab with on YouTube, the brands that you do the work for. Yeah, it's so by association, that's part of the brand story. Well, and one of the things I added to my brand was I want to collab more and interact with other awesome creators like you.
Cool.
So, that's something I'm adding to the brand story of not just Roberto's going to tell you this and how-to channel, but I'm going to bring on experts and cool people that I admire and that I respect in the industry that can teach something to my audience in a way that I can't.
And that's exactly why I wanted you on this channel as well, to talk about branding. So basically, getting to know your brand is about a conversation and about thinking about the story and the perception that you want other people to have, right? And
exactly.
You bring that through in the visuals and in your actions.
Exactly. It's about revealing yourself to people. And it's about the conversations that you're going to have and that they're going to have about you. Part of the brand of Apple is we feel that Apple is sexy, sophisticated,
premium,
simple to use, premium. It's a luxury product. It's like my status is elevated by association, by having it. And that's how we feel about it. I can tell you it's I just feel so convenient and comfortable using this thing. And that's how I feel about it. People feel that way about Apple, and it's hard to get them to leave. There are people who are like, but I need to get work done, so I'm on Windows or Android or this. So the way those brands win is by making people feel a certain way about it, so strongly about it that they can tell you exactly what it is. And you want to talk about defining your brand story. Most people in the audience, they know the brand story of, they could tell you who Superman or Spider-Man or Wonder Woman are.
Yeah.
Whoever their favorite iconic hero, whether it's history or fictional, or they can tell you everything about that person. Their origin story, and also what they represent, whether it's truth, justice, and the New Zealand way, or or whatever, they can tell you. They also know what their brand colors are. We know that Superman is red and blue and the yellow symbol on the shield and the S. We know that Batman is dark colors and black, and we know, and we can associate, we can say, oh, I know that color palette, we know that thing. Right now, people can pick you out of a crowd with the hair, so people can pick me out of the crowd with the hat. So
that's how I recognize you today in the panel.
Exactly. When I don't wear this hat, I can be invisible.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that advice. And I hope that got everyone watching thinking about branding as well. If you want to leave any questions or thoughts about brand, or if you're thinking about your own personal brand, you want to bounce some ideas off, reach out to me on Twitter or leave a comment down below. We're going to be filming some videos over on Roberto's channel, giving some advice.
You guys can find me at Roberto Blake in social media. The YouTube channel is Roberto Blake 2, like the number 2. And
it'll be linked down below.
Yep,
yeah.
There we go. Linked it up.
Thank you so much for being on my channel.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. You're awesome.
Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you liked hearing this conversation, and I'll see you next time. Bye.